Hello students, last time we have explained about the microscopy. In microscopy we have explained about three type of microscopes such as simple or dissecting microscope, light or compound microscope, and third one, that is electron microscope. Today we are going to explain the next point, that is stains and dyes. So friends, the stains or the dyes, these are the coloring agents or the chemicals which gives particular color to the cellular or the tissue components of the biological materials or the biological preparations or the slides which are uh, supposed to be studied by the biologist. So stains and the dyes, these are the coloring agents or the coloring chemicals, and which are useful in a differentiation of the different biological components or the cellular components because of giving particular color to the cellular materials or the biological preparations. So staining refers to the use of dyes or the colors to make various tissue constituents of the components visible and distinct from one another. Different parts of the cells or the tissues react differently to the colors due to their chemical or physical properties or chemical or physical differences. Thus, they become easily visible. So, the stains of the colors which are having variable chemical and physical properties, and thus these stains or the colors or the dyes, they react with the biological materials or the tissue components, and ultimately due to the coloring or due to the staining of the different cellular or biological components or the tissue components, they become easily visible under the microscope. The various parts of the cells and intracellular materials are usually transparent and colorless. So, in a natural condition, the cells or the intracellular components or the materials of the cell or the tissues, they are usually transparent or the colorless, and therefore this cannot be differentiated from one another unless we use a suitable coloring agent or the stain or the dye so as to color them. So, due to the use of stains or the colors, different components or the constituents or the cellular materials or the cell organelles, they get colored due to the certain stains, and ultimately it will become easy to differentiate them from one another in the microscopic preparations of the slides. Leeuwenhoek, who first used coloring agent in a biological macro technique to overcome this difficulty. He was studying the mammalian muscles under a single lens microscope, and he found his section too transparent or colorless for the observation, and therefore he used a stain called as the crocus or the saffron, and he thus uh, soaked the mammalian muscles macerated in a wine. So he stained or he used the biological technique while observing the mammalian muscles. He soaked these mammalian muscles in a saffron or a crocus together with a wine. Iodine can also be used for the staining of the biological materials or the muscles like mammalian muscles. Iodine can also be used for the staining or coloring for the of the muscles of the mammals. So that was the Leeuwenhoek who first used the biological macro technique, and he used a staining material as a saffron macerated with a wine, and he stained the mammalian muscles, and he observed the mammalian muscles by using the crocus or the saffron macerated in a wine so as to give the particular color or the staining of the mammalian muscles uh, to observe the mammalian muscles under the microscope. Staining is an auxiliary technique used in microscopy to increase the contrast or to clarity in a microscopic specimens or the study material. Stains and dyes are used to highlight structures in biological tissues for viewing or for the observation. So stains and dyes are used to highlight or to differentiate structures of the various cellular components of the biological tissues for the viewing or to observe them under the microscope with the help of different microscopes. Stains are also used to examine bulk tissues. Stains are also used to examine or to observe bulk tissues such as muscle fibers or the connective tissues, cell populations or organelles within the individual cell. Then below is the definition of the stains or staining methods. Cells, tissues and the microscopic organisms, cells, tissues and the microscopic organisms are generally studied under the microscope only after proper fixation and staining. Staining is a method of dyeing or coloring the various cell organelles or its components by using certain chemicals called as stains. So these chemicals or the chemicals which are used for the coloring the tissue components or the cellular components are called as stains or the dyes. Or this method of giving a particular color to the biological material or the cellular materials or the cell organelles and its components called as staining. So staining is a method of coloring biological preparations or the various cell organelles or various intracellular materials by using certain chemicals called as stains. So staining is thus a method of coloring or dyeing the tissue preparations by using certain chemicals called as stains. So stain and the staining. So stain means the chemicals which gives particular color to the cellular components, and the process of giving a particular color or staining of the particular biological material called as staining. So staining is the a method of coloring or dyeing the tissue preparations or the biological preparations or the cell organelles or its components called as staining, and the chemicals used for the chemical coloring the biological preparation are called as stains or the dyes. Principle of staining: all the dyes or the stains are generally aromatic substances, means having ring structure. All the dyes or the stains are generally aromatic substances. Stains are classified into two groups such as synthetic or natural. Each stain have two kinds of active chemical groups such as chromophoric group and oxochromic group. So stains may be synthetic, may be natural, and each stain has two type of active chemical groups such as chromophoric group and the oxochromic group. So chromophoric group are the groups, chromophoric groups are the groups of the stains or the dyes which impart or which gives a particular color to the stain itself. Some of the chromophoric groups are nitro group, carboxyl group, azo group, indamine group, and the quinide group. So these are the examples of the chromophoric groups of the stains or the chemicals called as the stains which gives a particular color to the stains themselves. So chromophoric groups gives a particular color to the stain. and oxochromic group, this group dissolves and dissociates in water. Oxochromic group dissolves and dissociates in water and helps in the attachment of the stain to the cell components or organelles. Thus, with the attachment of oxochromic group, thus with the attachment of the oxochromic group, the chromophoric group also get attached and gives the color of the stain to the cellular components or the cell organelles which are stained or colored by using the respective stain. So oxochromic group is responsible for the attachment of the stain or the attachment of the chromophoric group of the stain with the cellular components or the cell organelles. So chromophoric group gives particular color to the stain and oxochrome group is responsible for the attachment of the stain to the biological preparations or the specimen or the cell components or the cell organelles. And the example of the oxochrome group is a hydroxyl group or the OH group. So one thing that one thing that is important or one should be uh, keep in mind that the stains are having two groups, that is chromophoric group and the oxochromic group. Chromophoric group gives particular color to the stain itself and oxochromic group is responsible for the attachment of the stain to the cell and the cellular components or the cell organelles. And ultimately, the cell component or the cell organelles will give a particular color of the stain, will get the particular color of the stain to the biological preparations. So, chromophoric group gives particular color to the stain and oxochromic group is responsible for the attachment of the stain to the biological preparations or the specimens or the cell components or cell organelles. And the example of oxochromic group is hydroxyl group or OH group. The staining involves the staining or dyeing or coloring of the biological preparations or the cellular components involves the concept that the dye or the stain must become attached to the structure to be stained and remain attached forever. So, staining involves the concept that the stain or the dye should be attached to the biological material or the cell and cell components forever. The common reason for the permanent attachment of the dye, the common reason for the permanent attachment of the dye is the charge on the dye and is balanced by the charge on the specimen which is stained. So the common reason for the permanent attachment of the stain and the tissue material, the common reason for the permanent attachment of the stain or the dye and the tissue material or the specimen is the charge on them. So, charge of the stain and charge on the tissue material is responsible for the firm or the permanent attachment of the stain and the tissues. For example, the basic dyes like methylene blue or hematoxylin become attached to those molecules which retain their negative charge or cations after they have been fixed or sectioned, and their example is nucleic acids. So the nucleic acids such as DNA or RNA which are having negative charge can bind with the basic stains or the nuclear stains such as methylene blue or the hematoxylin with a positive charge. So the dyes mentioned above are known as nuclear stains. So one thing that is important that the nuclear stain or the basic stain having a positive charge on them, and they have affinity with the materials or the tissue materials with a negative charge. So the negatively charged materials of the nucleus, negatively charged materials of the nucleus such as chromatin or the chromosomes or the nucleic acids such as DNA and RNA, which are having negative charge, they can bind with the nuclear stains with a positive charge such as methylene blue or hematoxylin. And thus, hematoxylin or methylene blue, like basic stains or the nuclear stains, can bind or can give the respective colors of the stains to the nuclear materials, that is nucleic acids or the chromosomes, and thus are called as nuclear stains. Most of the proteins in the cytoplasm retain positive charge or the anion, so that acidic dyes or the cytoplasmic stains like eosin remain attached to them, and therefore these are called as cytoplasmic stains. So cytoplasmic stains or the acidic stains having negative charge, acidic stains or the cytoplasmic stains such as eosin having negative charge on them, and they can bind with the proteins of the cytoplasm having positive charge. So this is again a reaction between the acidic stain with a negative charge and the protein with a positive charge of the cytoplasm, and thus are called as either cytoplasmic stains or the acidic stains, and they are having affinity with the materials with a positive charge or the anion on them. Then classification of the stains. So depending upon the color and the radical being cation or anion or a both, the stains are classified into three groups such as the basic stains, acidic stains or the neutral stains. The basic stains or the nuclear stains. So first we will explain the basic stains or the nuclear stains. The chromophoric group of the basic stain is a cation. The chromophoric group or the basic stain is a cation, and the net charge on the cation of the basic stain is a positive. The net charge on the cation of the basic stain is positive. Such stains have a greater combining capacity at alkaline pH. They are generally used for staining the nucleus or nucleic acids. Basic stains impart or gives color to the acidic substances and are dye salts of colorless acids. So basic stains gives their color to the acidic substances or the having uh, the negative charge. The materials or the tissue materials or the substances having negative charge and the basic stains having a positive charge will give the particular color to the acidic substances, and the stains are basic stains. So a substance which shows affinity, a substance which shows affinity for the basic stain, a substance which show affinity for the basic stain is called as basophilic, and the property is termed as basophilia. So the basophilic substances include nucleic acids like RNA, DNA, and the chromosomes. So the example of basic stains are hematoxylin, methylene blue, methyl green, basic fuchsin, crystal violet, acridine orange, azure B, thionine, and the safranine. So these are the some of the examples of the basic stains or the nuclear stains, and the basic stains or the nuclear stains having affinity with the materials or the tissue materials or the cell organelles with a negative charge, because the basic stains are having the positive charge on them. So the basic stains or the chromophoric group of the basic stain is a cation, but the actual charge or the net charge on the cation of the basic stain is a positive, and thus they are having affinity or can combine with the materials with a negative charge. We'll explain two examples of the nuclear stain with reference to their composition and the importance given below. The first one, that is hematoxylin. So hematoxylin is a nuclear stain. Hematoxylin is a nuclear stain always used to study the basic differentiation between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So whenever we stain the cellular materials or the components of the tissues, so hematoxylin staining the nucleus or the nuclear components, and thus can be differentiated easily from the cytoplasm. So it is commonly used for both plant and animal tissues. The hematoxylin is a nuclear stain, and it gives its color to the nuclear material or the nuclear components, may be chromatin material, chromosomes, or the nucleic acids, and this will also differentiate the cytoplasm from the nucleus. It is commonly used for the staining of both plant and animal tissues. This stain is obtained in a powder form. Hematoxylin is obtained in a powder form from hematoxylon, a small leguminous plant that contains hematoxylin. So hematoxylin is a natural chemical obtained from the hematoxylon, that is a small leguminous plant containing this particular chemical, that is hematoxylin. For staining purpose, it is converted by oxidation into hematine, either slowly due to the atmospheric oxygen or a ripening in the atmospheric oxygen, or rapidly by addition of oxidizing agents like sodium iodate, sodium perforate, mercuric acid, mercuric oxide, KMnO4, and potassium periodate. So these are the some of the oxidizing agents which can also be used for the ripening or the oxidation of the hematoxylin into hematine, so as to give the particular color to the biological materials. It means the hematoxylin is not itself a dye. It first needs to be oxidized to the hematine. Hematoxylin itself is not a dye or the stain, but it is oxidized to the hematine by exposing it to the atmospheric oxygen, and then become capable of giving color to the nuclear materials. In hematoxylin or hematine, some mordant such as alum is added to enhance the blue, black, or violet staining appearance or the color of the nucleus. This stain is universally used due to high contrast, convenience for photography, easy control of dyeing or staining, and the insolubility of color in aqueous or alcoholic media after staining, and in a synthetic mounting media also. There are three methods of preparation of hematoxylin. The choice of method depends upon the availability of time between preparation and the use of stain. If longer time or lapse is there, then slow ripening method is used. And if its requirement is immediate, then quick oxidation is followed. Following is the method of preparation of Delafields hematoxylin, where we can prepare the Delafields hematoxylin by using solution A and solution B. Solution A is prepared by using hematoxylin 1 gram and absolute alcohol 6 ml, and solution B is prepared by using ammonium alum 10 gram in a 90 ml of distilled water. So the mixture of solution A and B, the mixture of solution A and B, solution A containing hematoxylin 1 gram in a 6 ml of absolute alcohol. Solution B is ammonium alum 10 gram in a distilled water 90 ml. Combine or mix solution A and B and allow this mixture to ripen in the air. When the solution becomes darkened, add 25 ml of glycerol or glycerin and 25 ml of methanol or ethanol. The final mixture may be allowed to ripen further while tests of its staining activity are being made every week or two, and when the activity is observed or when the, the color blue, black or violet, the color obtained to stain the material to optimum level, the solution then be stored in a tightly stoppered bottle. So when the activity is observed to be optimum, that is staining activity, when the staining activity is observed to be optimum, the solution of the hematoxylin then stored tightly in a stoppered bottle. Then another nuclear stain, that is acetocarmine, 1% solution of the acetocarmine can be prepared by using carmine 10 gram, 45% glacial acetic acid 1 ml and 10% ferric chloride 5 ml. So these are the chemicals used for the preparation of the another nuclear stain or the basic stain, that is acetocarmine. So preparation of acetocarmine stain. Carmine is a basic dye, acetocarmine. Carmine is a basic dye that is prepared from the insect Coccus cacti. For the preparation of acetocarmine, dissolve 10 gram carmine in 100 ml of glacial acetic acid, add Balzers and reflux for 24 hours, filter into dark bottles and store at 4 degrees centigrade, that is in a cold condition. This solution can be stored for a long time. Staining can be intensified. The staining of acetocarmine can be intensified or darkened by adding ferric chloride 5 ml of 10% ferric chloride solution per 100 ml of 1% carmine. So, for intensification or for making stain intensified, addition of ferric chloride, that is 5 ml of 10% ferric chloride, 5 ml of 10% ferric chloride solution added in 100 ml of 1% acetocarmine. Acetocarmine stain is generally used to stain plant chromosomes. Acetocarmine stain is generally used to stain plant chromosomes. Then third type of stain, that is methylene blue, preparation of third nuclear stain or the basic stain, that is methylene blue. Methylene blue is often used for treatment of aquariums to prevent fungal infections in a fish. It is also widely used as a biological stain and the indicator. Methylene blue preparation are typically 0.5 to 1 weight per volume solutions of methylene blue in an alcohol or water. Made very slightly alkaline by addition of few drops of dilute NaOH or KOH. Loeffler's methylene blue is 0.5 gram methylene blue powder. Loeffler's methylene blue prepared by using 0.5 gram of methylene blue powder dissolved in a solution of 100 ml distilled water, 30 ml ethanol and 1 ml of dilute or 1% KOH. Methylene blue is suitable for staining cell nuclei and the bacteria. So these are the methods of preparation of three basic stains or the nuclear stains such as hematoxylin, acetocarmine and the methylene blue, which are usually used for the staining of nuclear materials or the staining of the nucleus in both plant and animal tissues, which gives the respective color of the stain, that is hematoxylin, acetocarmine or the methylene blue, to the nucleic acids, that is the DNA, RNA, chromosomes or the chromatin material of the nucleus of the plants and the animal tissues. So uh, this is about the explanation regarding the nuclear stains or the basic stains. Next time we will explain the second type of stains, that is acidic stains. So today with this we will stop here, and next time we will continue the next point, that is acidic stains. Thank you.